Hello and welcome. Today we are diving into something that, let's be honest, affects absolutely everything we do, but is almost never taught to us in any formal way. We're talking about personal finance management.
So let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're just constantly chasing money? And even when you get it, there's no real peace of mind, just this background hum of stress and worry about your finances. Yeah, you are definitely not alone in feeling that.
And here's the thing, the really interesting part. That feeling, it's usually not about how much money you actually have in the bank. The real issue, the thing that keeps so many people spinning their wheels, is the lack of management. It's not having a system, a plan for your own money. And this brings us to what I like to call the money stress paradox. It's this weird idea that earning more money doesn't automatically mean you get less stress. In fact, if you don't have a plan, sometimes it means a whole lot more. There's a story that just illustrates this perfectly. Okay, so let's meet two guys, Rahul and Gautam. They both want the same thing, a happy, stable life. Now, Gautam earns 4 times what Rahul does. He's living the high life, all flashy, but it's funded by loans. By the time he's in his 40s, he's got nothing saved and he is just drowning in debt. Meanwhile, Rahul on his modest salary was saving, spending smart, and investing for his future. And by his 40s, he has that peace and stability he was aiming for.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that Rahul's success had nothing to do with his income level. Not really. It was all about his management. He got it. He understood that financial well-being comes from a plan, not just a bigger paycheck. And Gautam's story? It's a perfect, if painful, example that a huge income with zero plan can lead you straight to ruin.
And that really gets to the core of what personal finance management, or PFM, is all about. It is not some boring exercise with spreadsheets and calculators. Think of it as a tool, a powerful tool for designing the exact life you want to live. Just look at this definition. The first part is the how, right? Planning, organizing, controlling your money. But that second half, that is the why, to achieve your life goals. And that's the part that so many people miss. PFM isn't about hoarding money just for the sake of it. It's about using money as a tool to build a life with stability, freedom, and, most importantly, peace.
All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we build this plan? Well, it all stands on a foundation made up of 7 core pillars. Let's break them down.
Yep, there are 7 key areas. If you can understand and get a handle on these, you will take back control of your financial life. Honestly, mastering these is the real game changer. Think of these 7 pillars as the foundation of your entire financial house. First up, income. That's the engine that powers everything else. Second, spending, how you decide to use that power. Third is saving, your safety net for emergencies and short-term goals. Fourth, loans, a tool that can either build you up or, if you're not careful, tear you right down. Fifth, insurance. That's the shield that protects you when life throws a curveball. 6, investments. This is how you build real long-term wealth. And finally, number 7, taxation. Basically, the cost of living in a functioning society. A truly solid plan has to address all 7 of these. So now we know the what, those 7 pillars. Let's get into the how. How do you actually put this all into practice? And you might be surprised. It's actually pretty simple, and it doesn't start with numbers at all. It really just boils down to a 2-step process. Step 1, and this is the most important part, you have to define what you really want from life. I'm talking about your non-negotiable goals. Only after you have that crystal clear can you move to step 2, building a plan using those 7 pillars to make it all happen. Seriously, this first step is so critical. Let me tell you another quick story. There's this 25-year-old Rohan. When he was first asked about his goals, he listed stuff like a new bike, the latest iPhone, fancy clothes. But you see, those are just wants. They're not deep, life-defining goals. But when he was pushed to dig a little deeper, to think about what was truly non-negotiable for him, his answers completely changed. He started prioritizing long-term stability over short-term thrills. His real goals were to never, ever experience financial stress, to build a genuinely comfortable life, and to one day retire with total peace of mind. Now that is a powerful why. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. Forget what social media tells you to want. Forget what everyone else is doing. What are the 2 or 3 things that are absolutely 100% non-negotiable for you and your life? Because real financial planning starts right there with that question. Okay, I know what some of you might be thinking right now. There are a ton of common excuses and reasons people give for not doing any of this. So let's just tackle them head on so you can sidestep these common traps.
This is a big one. The whole YOLO, you only live once argument. People think that planning for the future automatically ruins the present. But does it really have to be a choice between enjoying today and securing tomorrow?
Well, here's the reality. With modern medicine, most of us have a pretty high chance of living well into our 80s or 90s. So, enjoying today in a way that completely wrecks your tomorrow isn't smart. It's just reckless. A good plan finds the balance. It lets you live a great life now while also making sure your future is stable and peaceful. And here are 2 other myths you hear all the time. First, I'll just earn more money, that'll solve it. We already saw with Gotham that is a totally failed strategy. I mean, history is littered with celebrities and athletes who made millions and still went bankrupt. And the second one, I don't earn enough to need a plan. That is completely backward. When your resources are limited, smart management isn't just important, it is absolutely essential. So if those are the excuses, what are the real reasons people struggle with this? Well, it usually comes down to one of these 3 things. 1, a simple lack of knowledge, because nobody ever teaches this stuff in school. 2, mindset issues, letting your emotions or social pressure drive your spending. And 3, not having any systems or habits in place to make good financial choices automatic.
But you know what? The great news is that all 3 of those are completely solvable. And just by being here, by taking the time to learn about this, you are already taking the single biggest step to crushing that first barrier. You're arming yourself with knowledge.
So, let's turn that knowledge into real action. Here is your assignment. Sometime today, find a quiet moment, no distractions, and actually write down your 3 most important, non-negotiable life goals. I don't mean wants, I mean the core things that will define a successful life for you. I want you to think of this little exercise as your first official act in a brand new role, the role of CEO of your own money, and really, of your own life. This is the moment you stop letting money control you, and you start telling your money exactly what it's going to do for you. Look, this isn't just about shuffling numbers around. It's about managing your life to get what truly matters to you. It's about treating that constant, low-level stress for a lifetime of peace. So the final question is pretty simple. Are you ready to take charge?